Welcome to the Road to Redemption podcast with your host, Cam Williamson.
All right, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Road to Redemption podcast. Yes, our set is not as grandiose. The lighting is not as fantastic. Why is that? Well, I am in my new apartment. I moved. I am going through the divorce process. I have, moved houses, and now I am setting this one up so my daughter can get here. I'm still going to see, my youngest daughter every single day, so that's fantastic. I'm closer to my oldest daughter, so that's great too. I'm around family now. That's fantastic. A lot of good things. So what happened, right? I think a lot of people are interested to know as far as what's going on with Cam. I've been gone for a couple weeks, kind of dealing with a lot of this. I took a hiatus prior to kind of clear my head and figure out what was going to go on with my life going forward. And I think the only way, if I'm going to do myself, anyone involved, you all, the only way I can do this justice, I think, after racking my brain over it for the last couple days is, are there times when relationships that don't have trauma, violence, abuse, they don't have these things? There's no severe contempt, resentment, there's no anger, there's no hatred, there's no anything like that, right? Should those relationships end? Some would say that's a good relationship, right? Okay, well, we're going to dive into it. I have been now married twice, divorced twice, 0 for 2. And in that, I found similarities that I will share with you all. One of those similarities is I have a lot of patterns in my life, right? A lot of these patterns in the last 5 years, I've come to know as issues with bipolar 1, my PTSD issues I have, and just anxiety, things like that in general. Some of them are not that. Some of them are who I am as a person, as a human being, with the soul inside of my body that I have, right? One of those things is about every 5 years, I fall into a real hole of hermit mode. I need to go and figure out what am I missing inside of my soul that needs to be rectified. Well, usually when I come out of that space, love is the answer. Romantic love, investing myself in whoever my romantic partner is at the time or whatever. This time when I came out of it, that was kind of the last thing from my mind. I just knew that this time, if I didn't make a drastic change to get my life back, mine, where I'm in my own space, not being judged, not being asked questions, not having to explain myself to anyone for any reason, then maybe, just maybe, I would be able to shake this feeling that I get every night around 4:30, 5 o'clock, when it feels like my blood starts to run cold and I feel like I need to run out of any room I'm in, regardless of who's there. And you live in a situation where every single night you start to feel this way. Well, then you start to look around and go, well, what changes around this time? Nighttime comes around, kids are starting to get ready for bed. People come home. It gets a little stressful, I guess, but should this give me a total feeling of despair every night? And then you got to ask, where is my comfort coming from? If these problems are mental and there's nothing physically wrong with me, and I'm getting these severe physical reactions to the thought of people being around or just me being alone again, at some point, I think the physical chemistry of a person's body starts to change where love isn't comfort anymore. Another person's companionship is not your comfort, especially if you're someone like me who has been so codependent for so long, where you're grabbing and you're reaching and you're trying to hold on to relationships while they're constantly trying to get their space and have their own individual life. And that's fantastic. I mean, that's healthy. People should do stuff like that. But I was always the reacher and the grabber and the chaser and the whatever. And I don't know, over like the last 2 years, 3 years, I found it's like, man, I do a lot of chasing. I do a lot of things that stress people out. I think both of my ex-wives would tell you that I stress them the fuck out a lot. So, it's like I've always tried to make decisions when it comes to marriage. It's like, look, man, we walked into this, both situations, kind of chaotically. We really tried, right? I could say that in this situation. Like, we really tried. We really did. I mean, we tried. And it's like some things, when you just look at what they are, if everyone's willing to be honest, I think everyone can just go, this isn't the match. This isn't the one that we're trying to live out finality with, right? And if you're not willing to look at it and be honest in that situation, and I'm only saying this not because it applies to my situation currently, but it has applied to my life before, where I've sat in living rooms with women where I have kids or don't have kids, and I look across the room and I go, I'm going to see you every day for the rest of my life. And then that feeling hits where you go, oh, fuck. And guys, I'm talking to the guys here. If you look at your lady, if you look at your situation, your home, whatever it is, and you look at it and you let it sink in, and you're like, man, fuck. Because hey, man, you know just like they know who's going to change, what are they actually willing to change, what's important to them, what's not important to them, what's words versus actions. All these things you have to start as you get older, especially when you have kids. You have to start weighing people against their actions, not their words. When you're somebody like me, especially, I'm very good with words. I'm very good with them. It's what I do for a living, first off. But second off, I grew up in an abusive situation. I grew up with people that would fire off at the temper at anything that displeased them. So you constantly learn in those situations how to walk into a room, read the situation of, oh, okay, this person's a little upset. They're kind of on edge. Maybe a little anxious. They're sad. I could tell everything that's going on with most people just by walking into a room with them. So then I'm immediately like, okay, do I need to be funny? Do I need to be more intimidating and aggressive in my older age because now I can stand up for myself, right? Or do I need to be calm and relaxed? And the opposite, not as aggressive and not as intimidating, because I do, as I've been told a lot here recently, I come off as a little more aggressive or intimidating than maybe I realize that I do because of the tone of my voice. I talk with my hands a lot. These things, I guess, can bother people. I have tattoos. I have a beard on my face. I'm usually covered. And like when I walk around, a lot of times I am like that or something. So I get that the way I carry myself a lot of times can be very off-putting to people. I've tried to always rectify that with my words. I can speak to you and I can make you understand what I'm trying to say. But at the same token, if you're lying to me, or you're telling me a half-truth, or you're just playing a game with me to try to like misconstrue information, I'm not the one to do that with. I'm just not. Because I'll make you talk yourself into a circle where then you'll change your own story, and then I catch you, and then because you got caught, you'll go back around and you'll tell a different story or change a small detail about something, whether that's true or not, but now you're just in your own head about stuff. And it's just, I've been in so many situations like that where it's just people cannot just speak directly, be honest, about whatever it is that's going on. And then also, the biggest issue in most of my relationships is, and this is just from my perspective, that's all I'm giving you. I'm sure every woman that I've ever been involved with will have their own perspective, but I wrote mine in a fucking book, so you can go read that, catch it on Amazon. But anyway, I can say for sure from my side of things, when I've started relationships with women, especially in what we'll call the honeymoon or love bombing stage, where I'm about you, man. I'm willing to give this a shot. Every woman knows what lengths I'm willing to go to at least make shit work, right? So if some point I take my foot off the gas of that, that's because we've had conversation after conversation after conversation after conversation, after conver-fucking-sation about, hey, man, I feel like I'm putting way more into this than you are. You've gotten involved in whatever, hobbies, friends, work, whatever, that are, not that you are doing these things, those are fine. You're doing them in such an excess where either now we're just not seeing each other, this is not a two-way street relationship, there's drama surrounding what situation you are involving yourself in, or just simple enough, we decided this is not the relationship we were going to have, where we spend most of our days in a week away from one another only to rekindle 1 or 2 days a week. Well, that's not the relationship I'm looking for. If that's for you, that's fine. There's no judgment there, right? And you have to, I guess, be willing to be selfish. And you have to be willing to articulate what you want in life, man. Because if you don't, you're going to settle. That's what settling is. You have no idea what you want for your own life. So you just take what comes. And you go, it's good enough. And again, if you're from like me and you're from the Midwest, you could be very like just in your genes. That's who you've become because that's what you grew up like. Oh, what? I got this new apartment. It's dope. Okay, cool. That's good enough for me. I can stay here. Oh, what? I got this house. Now I bought a house. Okay, great. I could do that. I could stay here. Oh, I met this girl. Okay, she's cool. I like her. Oh, yeah, she's great. She doesn't treat me like shit. She doesn't cheat on me. Okay, great. Yeah, I'll marry her. Fine. We got a couple kids. That's great. She wants kids. We'll do the kids. I'll dress the rooms up the way you want. We'll dress them up. We'll take all the pictures. Fantastic. You want to do that? How do you want me to dress on Halloween? Okay, you want me to put this on? Okay, Christmas time, I'm wearing a stupid fucking sweater. Okay, putting a sweater on. You can do all that. And hey, man, if that's for you, I'm not sitting here judging you for that. Because guess what? There are people in your life that will make those things fun for you. If you've become like a love curmudgeon like myself, where you're like, I'm not dressing up for fucking Halloween. I'm not putting an ugly sweater on for Christmas. What are you talking about? Like, who the fuck do you think I am? But again, like a lot of that is a hardened heart. A lot of that is immaturity. A lot of that is making me lesser of a person. Because, again, I have daughters that would love to enjoy those things with me. So I had to get back to a space, man, where it's like, yeah, a relationship doesn't have to be bad for you to end it. You shouldn't get married before you know whether a relationship is obviously going to go the distance or not. I think some people make that mistake a lot and we just don't admit it. But like, how do you stop yourself from marrying the wrong person, from someone who's done it twice? Give it time. If you're rushing into things because you feel so emphatically about this person in a moment, well, I promise you, if the feeling is true, you'll feel it in 2 years. You'll feel it in 3. You'll feel it in 4, and you'll feel it in 5. I mean, it's not going to be something that's going to go away. Your desire to have that person in your life and have that soul connection, I believe in true love. I do. I just believe that it takes two people being fully committed to what they both say that they're going to do behind closed doors and then living that out fully, unapologetically in the world. And oftentimes that becomes hard, right? And again, we've talked about all aspects of this leading up to it, where like you have attachment styles. You have people that are anxious attachments where I need to hear from you and I need to text you all day. And then you have avoidant people where when they get emotional, when life happens, when they start to get stressed out, they pull back. They just need space. Maybe they need to go for a drive, listen to music. And to the anxious attached, that can feel very personal. Well, you don't want to be around me. I'm not your peace. I'm not the comfort that you need. And then it could become, oh, our love is not the same. Well, if we're being honest, maybe just the communication's broken. Maybe it's not your attachment style that's the problem. Maybe it's just your words don't work, man. Hey, the way that I feel love is that you trust me enough that when I walk out that door to go for a drive, go do whatever it is that I do, shop for vinyl records, whatever, you got to know that I'm not out there contemplating not being with you. I'm not out there contemplating being with someone else. I'm not out there trying to see what grass looks like anywhere else. I'm simply out there trying to, in my life, without drinking, getting myself all fucked up, making all these bad decisions, without doing those things, how can I sit in a comfortable space, make myself comfortable, happy, relaxed, and then process all the things in life? How can I do that? I could shop for vinyls. I can work. I'm back to work now, and this is the best I've felt in a couple days, man. Because, like, for those of you that don't know, I'm around my kid every single day. Every day. She's my whole life. She's my whole world. And I have not seen her in almost a week and a half. And by the time I finally do see her, it will have been almost a month. So it's tough right now. For me, I'm dealing with so much when it comes to the absence of my kids, especially. That's the thing that takes the toll on me. But let's smooth into that transition, right? Because if you are going to leave a relationship, sometimes staying together for the kids is what keeps us there, right? I'm here to tell you, I've done it twice. I've done it in two different situations. Staying together for the kids is not the answer. It's not the answer. Your kids deserve to see both their parents be happy. If you live in a household where one parent has to be happy all the time, well, guess what? The other parent is at some point going to become miserable. And if at some point the two parents just cannot communicate with each other and they're on and off each other all the time with intimacy and anger, and it's just a very hot, cold thing because, well, kids pick up on that kind of stuff, man. And then they start to learn that these are the ways that people should expect to be treated. And when you hear people apologize and then don't change anything, kids pick up on stuff like that. Kids pick up on when people start to get nervous around each other, or when people start to get a little fidgety when the other one starts to get home. Like, these are all things that kids notice. And they don't always say something about it, but they'll just take it out in their behavior. They'll take it out in school. They'll take it out when they're around grandparents and shit. You don't know how kids are going to, process and develop these foundational shifts in their life. So I've tried to treat this one very carefully. Like, my daughter thinks this is all exciting. She just thinks she's getting a couple new houses and she's going to be, able to be in a new school and whatever. Like, so there are ways you can do it that makes it fun and exciting for them. But at the same token, they're very aware of your absence. And they don't understand, right, in the beginning. So, like, when you're the parent that has to move out, or, you're the one that has to spend some time away for a while when that's not typically your role, well, they're going to have feelings about that. And in my situation, my daughter's too young. She can't say, Dad, I miss you a lot. I don't know why this is happening, and I don't know where you are right now. You tell me you're in our new house and you're setting it up for me, but, like, you're not here, and that's all I really understand. And you can feel that, but it's life. So just because, like, that wave of emotion hits us when we go, fuck, man, my kid's hurting, and it's because of me. I own that. I'm the one who chose to get a divorce. I'm the one that made the choices logistically of where everyone was going to go and how close we would all stay, so that way she had a very normal life. And it was like, I know that sacrifice is a part of everything. You all have to understand that as well. If you're going to live a life that's truly by your own design, you know, I have Sinatra sitting on the table for a reason, because it's like, the song My Way has always been kind of one of my anthems, which is like, I'm doing this motherfucker my way, man. I will, because I can't do it any other way. Now, I've bumped and I've bruised myself and I've damn near killed myself so many times trying to do shit my way. But it's like, I think I finally have a compass, morally, spiritually, mentally, physically, I'm getting there, where I'm shooting so true to what I know I am and what I know I should be doing. And life is finally starting to do that like magical alignment thing where things I never thought possible are actually happening. Or things that I just had written off so many years ago as being like, that's never going to happen. There's too many things that would keep me from that. There's no way I could ever make that work. All these things, I'm telling you, if you just wake up one day and go, this is the life I want, I refuse anything that's not that, and you just start taking every single action, fuck what your brain tells you, and just take every single action to get there, one day, a lot sooner than you think, you'll be sitting in a new place and, you know, going, whoa, I did it. Holy shit. Everyone wants a time warp in life. Everyone wants to be able to go, whoop, to that one moment that you think, oh, now all my problems are going to be fixed. But guess what? If you time warp to that problem or that time in your life and go, whoop, okay, I'm at the end result. That end result only comes with more problems, unless you're going to die. Because guess what? If you're just having no more problems, no more obstacles in front of you, nothing to face, nothing to give you that uncomfortable feeling inside, you're not doing anything. You're living a very stale, comfortable life. You're not doing nothing. You're not chasing nothing. You're going and living somebody else's, you know, dream of you clock in and work for them. You get no time with your fucking family. But guess what? Your bank account might have commas in it that your family gets to go out and enjoy, but you can't be around for it. You all know that's bogus these days. You all know it's trash. So why anybody chooses to put up with it, well, that's it. It's a choice. So you have to understand, like, there are certain people in this world that are out there to create extraordinary lives for them and their kids. I just hope that everybody that watches this episode, I'm not saying go get divorced. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying I hope that whatever the big thing is for you, whether it's your ultimate freedom, creativity, being the best parent you can to your kids, finding true fulfillment in life, I think should always be the goal. Should always be the goal, because you only get one of these that we know. And man, it goes by so fast. As someone who's 31 years old, I can tell you that, man, this thing goes by so fast. And I'm so terrified of how fast the next part of it is going to go, that it's like you do hit this age where everything starts to be a FOMO thing, where you're like, I have to act now. And here we are. So everything's good. I hope no one's been worried about me. Everything's good. It's actually better than it's been in quite a long time. I'm able to just kind of be in myself again and do what I think is right. So with that, I'll make a few announcements. We are back. We will be doing these. We'll only do one this week probably. I might get a second one up this week. Maybe I'll vlog and get a vlog put up at a new place. So maybe there will be a second episode this week, but we're going to start doing the book reviews again. I am going to start working on the second book of my own here soon. So we got a lot of content coming up now that we are semi-moved in. As you can see, there's a big blank wall behind me here. This is where like my entertainment center and my TV will go. It's not here yet. So I've got a couch, I've got a bed, I've got all the stuff that I need to live, but it's still half a place. Hopefully the echo in here is not too bad because I don't have any area rugs yet. You guys will see the place in the vlog. Guys, if you like episodes like these, please thumbs up the video, subscribe so you see everything. If you want to see it as soon as it goes live, hit that little thumbs up button and YouTube will do my job for me and let you know when the videos are up. I love you so much. We'll see you in the next one.